Hello my friends and welcome to my studio, Open Studio D. I'm Vlad Duchev and today we're going to do something special. I'm getting a lot of messages from my students and from subscribers and the people I'm helping, start painting. And the message is the same. It's not a problem when, students or when people starting the paintings. A lot of people are telling me that when we start a painting, underpainting is looking good composition wise and we feel great, and then we start working on the painting and is completely terrible, basically overworking. All right, if your underpainting is looking good and your finished painting is looking awful in your opinion, of course, then you just overwork your painting. Very simple. If composition at the on underpainting stage was okay or was great, and then when you finish it's not okay, then you've completely changed your underpainting or the idea. It's very simple. So today I'm going to show you, it's a demo session, and I'm going to show you how I'm finishing my paintings. Okay, so this is basically a demo of how to finish the painting, how not to overwork. So let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna use today, since this painting is done in water mixable oil. Here's my water mixable oil. This is Cobra by Talents and Royal Talents, and Duo Aqua Oil by Holbein. This is two brands that I use for my watercolor. I mean, not watercolor, for water mixable oil. My palette is right here. I'm using Art Pro Easel, even though I promise I'm not going to advertise it. I actually created different site, different channel for Art Pro Easel. So this channel will be dedicated only to demos, teaching, paintings, and all this good stuff. Right, here's my palette. As you all know, I'm obsessed with blues. So this is my blues, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 blues. I'm not gonna use all of them. Not that I'm gonna use not all of them, but I just squeeze them just in case if I need it. It's on my palette. I'm gonna use this two additional colors. This is Viridian green and the pink, and then I have unbleached titanium and titanium, which I'm using not a lot. And this is probably the majority of the colors that I'm gonna use. So this is my colors, palette of my colors, and the brushes I'm gonna use different brushes. Again, let's talk about this. So as you can see, this is the underpainting, and it looks like already finished painting, but it's still underpainting. Maybe with some details, but it's still underpainting. So what I'm going to do, and this is my but this is my approach to finish the painting. This is, by the way, is the photo of what are we going to finish. As you can see, it's more horizontal with a lot of details. It's actually, I took this picture and I was painting there. I actually sold a small study of this painting in Bass County. Yeah, but I have a lot of pictures. I actually have a picture of the my small study, and I just remember everything about this place. It was a beautiful place. So what I need to do is convert it to more rectangular space. So I just squeeze this side. My composition is right here. This is my kind of focal point over here, with some balanced detail on this side. As you can see on the photos on the right side, those formation of rocks and some passes. We're not going to do it. We're going to indicate. We're going to give some ideas. And this is what you have to do when you finish painting. At least at my process, my kind of thinking. I'm not going to transfer whatever I see. I'm going to transfer what I need to transfer from what I see. And this is the idea. Don't give the viewer the product that his mind is not working. That's a main thing. All you have to do is just it's like a game of guesses, right? You remember we driving and I see with my eyes, game with the children. I see with my eyes, blah blah blah, and they have to guess what you see. Same idea. You're just giving the suggestion to your viewer what they can see, what you see, and what they should be seeing, and they let their mind race, and this will create that idea of, not an idea, but this will create that race of mind to, I can imagine one thing, another person can imagine a completely different thing, and every people watching your, looking at your painting will imagine something different. You're just giving the base for that imagination. So this is exactly what we're going to do right now. If you look at the painting, this underpainting, you probably realize everything is kind of blurred, right? Everything, there is no hard edge except maybe right here and maybe several, which I just missed. But when I do underpainting, I'm trying to smooth everything, so make sure there's no hard edges and there's no tension. Now, when we switch to final layers, now is the point when you want to make your final accents. So for example, this is my final accents right here in these sections. This will be secondary, this will be primary. So I'm gonna do sharp edges right here. And main point, not to overdo it. All right. So sometimes you do underpainting, and you need several brush strokes to finish this painting. All right. An idea that you're trying to, you think you're making the painting better and better, but you're actually making it worse and worse, because you're giving all this idea like a photo. Photo has, some photos, they have, good value of, for the mind, but to be honest, some photos if photo with a lot of details, you look at that photo and your mind is like focusing on everything, reading everything, compiling and saying, I'm done. Next time you're looking at that photo, your mind is pulling all these images and everything that was created in your mind and saying, here we go. This is what you think. This is blah 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 blah. All the thing on, put everything on the shelves. Done. 5 minutes, you're done. Paintings is different. By the way, sometimes you will look at the greatest photo of atoms. There's a lot of good photographers, and there's a lot of their photos. They hiding the main idea, and that's why you're looking at the photos. So it's like, wow, I can look at that photo for like days and never tired. Why? Guess why? That's very simple, because they're not, pointing to your eyes to the subject that they were, they're showing you. They're just giving you idea, and it's like a puzzle, and you need to put this puzzle. That's why our mind is created to, puzzles, so to speak. All right. I hope I'm speaking, you understand what I'm saying. All right, so let's jump on this painting. What are we going to do? I'm going to analyze right now painting. I already analyzed, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to work on this part right here, some details, small details, but make sure my main point is not overdue. Just leave it as it is. To be honest, I was looking at this as like, you know what, this is kind of ready. I like this. Not, it just giving just suggestion of what this is, like in this part, right? You cannot see if it's stones or not. If I start painting stones, it will be, oh wait, that's stones. Right now it just, I'm pretty sure you're looking at this and saying, okay, this is a river, this is the group of trees, and river is going this way, and that's all, this is the idea. This is already kind of done, but let me do a little bit of accents just to fix some shapes, some composition. For example, this shadow needs to be kind of maybe managed better because it's just, you know, I don't think it's working, so I have to maybe not extend, but maybe push it up a little bit from here, a little bit up. So we're gonna fix this. Maybe some reflexes from the sky. I need to fix this sky, some holes. This I need to make like really bright jump to eyes right here, and maybe there's a pass. If you look at the image, there's a pass to that water and actual reflection on the water. So I need to do this reflection like more high value. Just bring the value of this reflection right here, and that's it. And maybe fix right here. That's it. All right. So let me get my brushes. I'm gonna take probably a very small brush right now. It's number 8 by Richardson, Jack Richardson. I'm not sure why I pulled this and not my rosemary, but I'm gonna use this. All right. Put the glasses so I can see what I'm doing, and let's start. Let's work on this part. Let's knock it out. So first of all, horizon, we need to move that down and put this high, kind of high, bit of orange, yellow ochre, yellow, and white. See what we got. It's too bright, so let's dull it down a little bit. Gonna use red. And since our underpainting is already dry, we can just wipe it out. So let's see if this will work for us. Yeah, I like that better. And again, not too much, and you can see how it jumped right away. So there's a mobile kind of whitish. I know it will be like this, yeah. And then let's. Now this will be more greener, so I have to switch, and I have to take a little bit more maybe of lemon just to give it that kick right here. And also some indication of, see that sharp edge that I create right here, make it smaller like this, like a tree. Now let's switch to make it green, more greener. So I'm using actually more greener and bluer. Something like this, and then the same thing if this is our we need to come over here, and this kind of in the shadow, this part in the shadow going to the water, so we need to be careful right here. So let's create more deeper. Something like this, yeah. So it's a pass. We know this in the shadow, but it's in the pass. Going to the water. Not to overdo, and always step out to make sure. And also, I like this color. Let me mix a little bit more of this. And I can finish some. I will just add some. Now this stuff is, I'm not putting the brush strokes, I'm just moving around just to create this, you know, holes. Maybe some details. Too much. I can see it, so I can white it. Let's make it darker. Reflection here. Okay. Right. And then we have this kind of right here. And as you can see, I'm working, make sure there's no hard edges. I'm just adding a variety of colors and removing edges. My edges will be right here, not nowhere else. Okay, right here. Let's fix this. Actually, you know, there's a small like reflection right here from and it's pointing this way. So I'm directing to make sure there is some, let me smooth this. And then this is exactly reflection that we see over here. And as you can see, I'm not using a lot of paint. It's because my underpainting was done with heavy layers. So right now I'm gonna do this reflection. Even more right here, and this will be kind of hard edge. And over here with some element of yellowish, even though it's just more whitish because it's a reflection with the water. But even right here, I'm just trying to make sure that's not really hard edge. Let me change that too. Here's some reflection from the water. Make sure it's not competing. And we're gonna make this color right here, and we will work on this to correct this shape. All right, this is, I'm gonna leave this alone right now. There is some, we can add some colors, some, not colors, sorry, some shapes. There's some shapes right here. All right, let's leave it alone. Now let's work on this part so we can fix it a little bit. So we need to mix this, and I believe this is the yellow ochre. Let's put the gradient a little bit to it, and unbleached white. See if I can knock it out. A little bit more of unbleached yellow ochre, a little bit of orange. Now here's a game. You have to match the color, so you have to, let me put a little bit of umber and actually red oxide. And we're gonna red oxide. Let's put some blue to it to neutralize. So we're basically neutralizing. Yes, that's what we need. And I like that, so we're going to neutralize that, and then we're going to now this, I don't want any hard edges. And a little bit more blue. All right, so here I need to lift this up, and I need to put a little bit more of this green color. Fix that. See, I'm watching those edges like a hawk. I'm gonna fix it as well. Let's add a little bit of green, yellow, permanent yellow, to make sure we have this permanent yellow right here. Right, we're gonna fix this part as well. Right now, I'm going to join those two colors that I just created. Some indication of this right there. I can watch the edges. Watch the edges. Here's a strip of light coming over here. We're gonna actually show it. And then we jump on this and right here. I like this part, to be honest. I'm not sure. I'm gonna put some water reflection right here and not work on the stones at all. And maybe some dots, like dots, so it's moving, putting this direction. Or move us to that direction again. This edge I don't like, so I need to work on this edge. Yes, like that. All right, so let's put some kind of bluish color. And I'm going to put this bluish color. Actually, I want to put it right here. Then some reflection, so the water that will help us to point that direction. And again, watch the edges. I can use my brush, fan brush for this, but I just like this, using my finger. All right, this is a little bit wider. And again, you're not looking at the photo at this time, you're looking at your painting. What your painting needs the most. All right, that's the point. You're not rendering the photograph, you're rendering the idea that you created, and you want this idea to be well spoken or well said. So I have some reflection of water here, and again I'm watching my hard edges, but I think it's creating that atmosphere. And this is right here, and it's like my brush is basically like literally dried, so I'm gonna put too much of this, maybe right here. I'm gonna create this direction. And actually, let's create it right now. First of all, there is some, and they're actually warm. They're not cold. So let me make it. There is some. Oops. Let me clean my brush. So basically there is some indication of those stones. Right here. I'm gonna watch. Let's still it down. Oops, wrong color. I know you would like to see my palette. I know. I'm still working on it. So I'm gonna mix this beautiful violet color, so we can, and this violet color will go right there on a bank. Just showing the back. Okay. As you can see, I'm dancing. I'm not showing just stones or anything. my brush is dancing. I don't want to show exactly, like, you know, edges of the stone. That's not my what I'm trying to do. There's a little bit of different water, I guess, because I'm gonna point this way, and we're gonna fix this with brush, kind of semi-dry brush, and it's working fine on top of this. So I'm gonna point this direction. This will be the trees, and I'm gonna change that. Let's do a little bit darker. Like indication of some stones, and point is to make sure it's showing that way, and then actually, you know, I can see this beautiful kind of greenish cast right here in the water. I'm gonna make this like this, which is gonna connect this with this. Yeah, and we're gonna make this the same right here, this dark. Okay, and also right here, you need that. You know what, let's jump, let me take another brush. I actually like that, so I'm gonna use the same brush. Let me mix, where's my, it's like blue, really blue. I'm gonna use this. So this will be my much lighter. Wow. Manganese. Let's make it brighter. It's asking for brighter. Okay, let's make it brighter. Make sure we're not. Okay, even brighter. Okay, so we're gonna fix this. This is our sky, not kind of, it's a sky. And we're gonna make sure we have a shape of the sky. Let me grab actually a little bit more from manganese. Put a good layer of this. Now, if you can see, this is right now competing with this. You see that? No, 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 no. We don't want this competition. So, I thought it was a bit lighter, but it's actually darker, so let's do darker. Underneath, let's do like, see if this will work for us. Yeah, value-wise, it needs to be darker. So I'm I'm gonna use this color and we're gonna fix that. And even here, since we're going up, I'm gonna do darker. I know it will be under frame, but I'm gonna pull it a little bit, something like that. And then some holes. Okay. Now let's fix our trees. Those trees are lighter, but and as you can see, I'm working on the edges. I just want to make sure my edges are not screaming. Now this will be lighter. I'm going to work on this right now. Okay. And we need to make this lighter. So let's work on this. Yellow. We're going to make this, bring the value up. Then I'm going to work on this part. This part here, we need to make this lighter. Now this portion is getting light. And of course, we need some reflections. So I'm going to make this darker. So we're going to make some reflections and some dark parts right here. I hope you see it. This will make it darker. Here. And also what I'm doing, I scratched it last time, so I'm covering that thing with paint, so make sure there's scratches not visible. And then we're gonna do this, and then this is the reflection of the water, I mean the trees. And make sure they are a little bit more, and right here, another one. And they vertical, not too much. We're gonna fix that. And then we're gonna fix with this. All right, so now let's do yellow ochre, lemon, sienna, unbleached. See if we can. Okay, this is more. Lighter. See this reflection, so we need to indicate it. Okay. Lighter here. And then we'll put these skies over here. And make sure there is no hard edges. There's no hard edges. Some dots there and there. This, make it smaller and hide it. Now we need to this dark. Move this dark down. And I'm gonna grab this. Create the darkest dark. Let's see if I can create. Match that right here. Some darks right here. I have that dark right here. And then this dark will be right here, and the reflection of this dark is going down up to here. Okay, and this we can actually add a little bit of, so it's indication of something. And let's work on this. This is more important right now. I want to make this pass reflection of sky. Reflection of the sky right here, and it's going over here. I'm gonna work on this. And it's and as you can see, I'm creating this illusion and pile over here, big pile on the reflection, actually much higher value. So we can really create it right here. And again, I want to point to here. See that? some even purplish, kind of bluish, purplish. Yeah, this is actually volumes. The value, not volume, the value. And all right. One thing that I would like to do is I'm gonna grab my palette knives right now, and I'm gonna create this with my palette knife. Oops, something like that. So it is you see what I did? And right now, when I'm going to work on that shore right here. All right, also we need to work on this. And the reason I took the palette knife is very simple. I want to, instead of using brush, actually, you know what, let me use brush. Since I've started with brush, let me finish the brush. Okay, so I like it. The one thing is I want to add maybe a little bit of, first of all, here's a light coming over here, which help us point to this. So let me mix that with this. It's like really just reflection. It's a light that, you know, a bit darker. I agree with you. Just a little bit darker. Not that. And this will be our bag. Also we have here a little bit lighter. It's like a reflection of bank or something. And again, you don't want to have this too much of those. Two. Here. I'm going to add some details right there, and yeah, let me work on this blue. So this is this light coming in as well. And you watch the seated smile right here, nose and two eyes. So make sure there's no symmetrical things. Always watch that. It's always a killer. Here's the light coming in here. Darker part. Oh, this is again, you don't want to create any not too much detail, but make sure it's not flat. You know, like this shape is not flat. So you're gonna put right here a lot of oil, so that the indication of like light coming in. And even more with titanium white as a contour of this. And I have right here, so this needs to be and I'm not going to touch this because this is not important. Right here, this is important. Even right here, I can do some like, you know, yellowish indication of some, you know, something like here. But again, not even. That's it. I'm going to put darker behind. This will be darker, but now I'm going to actually make it darker. Make sure this is not competing. And right now you're at the point of like, dude, you have to stop, because otherwise you're making it worse. I agree with you 100%. This is actually where we have to stop. So I'm gonna darker some stuff. And this needs to be dark. So all this and this. It's a contre-jour. So we're gonna. Now, make sure this is not completely flat, so this, we're gonna make that turn. Remember, we're always talking about that turn lighter. Even right here, this needs to be darkened. And of course we can do trees, several trees. Even right here, need to darken this. Even right here. This is make sure this is not, there's no sharp edges. I know some people preaching that, oh, you know, shadows needs to be sharp. No. All right, even right, I just put this and it's competing. So right now you have to look at the painting. It's like, wow, this is what I want, or no, this is not what I want. So I need to make this lighter. Because my point is right here, not here. I just did, I think I overdid right here. So we'll see. But right now we need to work on this. should be a little bit of yellow cast right here, at least right here. Some indications that helps us. Okay, so this needs to be, this needs to be okay. And also right here, I need something darker, like a contrast, like a dark contrast of something like this, just to break this shape. All right, and I think I'd like to put the, look, I really like to put something lighter here, but I know this will take from here, so I'm gonna leave it as it is. Shape-wise, I need to fix just all this. This needs to be like, should be making sense. And right here, edge. Always look for that edge. Maybe I think right here I need something lighter. Point right here. No, no, yes, no. Reflection. Maybe. Sorry, I'm bumbling because this right now I'm trying to finish it, and I'm trying not to overdo. So I need some accents. Some accent. Here some accent. Here some accent. Some big rock right here, but I'm not. Look how, see my rock? It's not a rock. Just a piece of my brush. And I'm looking overall, what I see in overall. You see that rocks, they're pointing this way? And here's some formation of those rocks with some underneath of the rocks. There's always the shadows, right? Underneath of the rocks. So I'm gonna there's also always some other details, but this is where we're going. We're going to here. So, oops. It's not empty. All right, so I'm gonna stop right here. This is what I want. I don't want to put more details. It's reading fine. All I need to do, put my signature right here, not over here, because it's gonna balance right here somewhere. And I'm satisfied. And to be honest, probably hour and a half, and it's done. Maybe a little bit, touches right here, or maybe not touches, but eliminating some details that I put right here, maybe later on, but At this point, I'm gonna let it. I know how to put something here. Actually, I forgot. So let's. And that's all. I just forgot to indicate. I may come back to, with something darker like this, and smooth it this way. I'm using my finger to something like this. But overall, that's its finish. I consider this as a finish. Not everything is, I'm not telling my viewer everything. I'm just telling, hey, this is a group of a tree, this is a light going into that corner right there, and let your imagination to finish everything. Maybe the kayak is dry, or somebody's fishing or whatever. Let's mind to finish the painting, and that's a goal. All right, this is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this small demo. Actually, in a couple of days, we're going to workshop with me and Zufar in Norfolk. So you still have time to sign up. I think it's there's some spots left. So if you want to jump, just jump because we will have a lot of fun. All right, that's it for today. Let me know if you have any questions. I normally reply within 24 hours, constantly watching my messages coming from all the sides, from Art Per Easel, from my side. Shoot me a message, and I will reply. And I would like to hear your opinion on this, how to finish the painting, and make sure not overworking or not overwork your painting final touches. All right, I'm actually cutting my plein air competitions this year. I'm going to concentrate. I just find out that if I'm working in studio and working on my own schedule, I do much more than if I'm going to compete. So I'm cutting my travel this year. Actually, I will be traveling, but on my own schedule to paint, and I will be able to set up and shoot the videos and do more demos and teaching and so on and so on, maybe even more workshops. All right, so if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe. And if you are already subscribed, you know the drill. Thank you very much for watching my videos and building this community. All right, I will see you next time.